Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Fitness with Jesus, Fit with Jesus, because that's the goal, right? Bodies are temples, and we're just trying to get healthy and, do what we can out here. Hopefully, these videos are here to motivate you and guide you in the right direction to uh, get to your goals. And that's kind of my goal is to help you get to your goals. I am a certified athletic trainer. My name is Cole Miller. And if you haven't subscribed, liked, or anything like that, please do. It's great. New channel, working on it. So anything you can do helps. Today we're going to talk about wrist, the wrist. So the wrist is an interesting joint. It's predominantly kind of like a hinge joint, but it's got like this saddle movement uh, in that radial and ulnar deviation aspect, supination, pronation. So, it's got wrist extension, wrist flexion, radial and ulnar deviation, supination, and pronation. Those are the main movements of the wrist. But basically, your wrist move. So it's actually pretty straightforward when we come to exercising it. So obviously, if there's an obvious break or deformity, you feel a bump or something, you should probably get an X-ray. But or if it's on the pinky side, like right in this divot in that TFCC area, and it crushes you when you do something like that. Maybe get it checked out and make sure it's just a wrist sprain also because that one's a pretty big deal too. Aside from that, I'm going to give you a couple exercises and maybe sprinkle in something here or there from the word A. Sorry, I just kind of goof around. It's going to be pretty low maintenance stuff. So the first thing I would recommend is get like a stress ball or like a squishy ball. And if this is too easy, get like a firm one. And if it's really too easy, you can get one of those hand grippers. I know they're at Five Below for like $5, and they go up to 90 pounds. So if you got like a strong hand, 90 isn't nothing. You could probably rep that, but like it's good to work your way up to it and just squeeze, squeeze. You can keep it at 90. You can keep it straight, just straight arm, just squeeze. I like personally like for me, I could do this for days personally, but if it's difficult or you have a good stress ball, because some stress balls are dense and oh, so I'd say like 50 of those. Work your way up to a couple sets of 50 and you're going to be working those forearm muscles. They all cross into your fingers, which is how you get that flexion and extension movement. So you really want to focus on that squeeze. Okay, that's for strength, but it's like usually you want to get like full range of motion back, but this is such a low impact thing that like you can pretty much do this whenever. So I like this one a lot. One thing you can do, get a 5 pound plate. You can do this with a band as well if you tie it to a doorknob, and then just do the movements. But you can kind of put your hand down and flex or extend, and just kind of control it. I like to do like 3 sets of 25 of these. It's not too heavy. You just find a nice light weight, and you can build your way up to something heavier. When you're doing this, you can think, uh, I'm just grateful that my hands don't have holes in them like Jesus, because, he was the one who was crucified. And my wrists are doing a lot better than his were on the cross, and it makes me appreciate that. And now he's sitting at the right hand of power, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, get them wrists good. Yeah, so just be grateful for what we have, and it's bearable comparatively to what Jesus had to go through, and it makes it a lot easier to do these exercises. I like to go back and forth. If you're really focused on being super particular with numbers, you can do like 3 sets of 25 and you'll start to feel a burn. The next thing you do is you can do it basically the same thing, but instead of your palm up and down in that pronation and supination, you can do like a more like a vertical and go back and forth. And this works at ulnar and radial deviation. So to deviate, you're going away. So radial deviation and ulnar deviation. And basically, that works the four prime like directions of the wrist. Like that's basically like, I mean, obviously you can do circles and stuff too, but with a weight like this, you can just do pronation, supination, pronation right here. This is pronation, supination, wrist flexion, radial and ulnar deviation, and you'll get a pump. I have a little bit of a pump doing that. You can even just sit it on your forearm. You know what's comfortable. It's such a low maintenance thing to do for your wrist, but it goes such a long way. Like that one's fantastic. A 5 pound weight if you can't do five, 2.5 pound if you can't do that. Just use a stretchy band. Those are so cheap, and you can get one at Play It Again stores. I bet you for like $5, $10. The thick ones though are a little more expensive, but those are usually for like dynamic stretching, anyways. The next exercise you can do, most people have a broom, I would like to imagine, so we're gonna get ourselves a broom. A broom. So the broom side will be in the middle, like near your chest, and then your palm down in that pronation, and that's how you're gonna want to start. And then you're gonna turn, push up for a stretch, and then turn back. And if that's too easy, the farther out you go, it's a longer lever with the broom head, so it makes it harder, and you have to control it. Like that part right there is difficult, and then you kind of let it drop. So I'll scoot over so you can see. You kind of let it drop, and then you turn it back. Boom. Like so. I like I like to do 1 or 2 sets of 25 of that as well, because the wrists are always going. So I like to do a couple higher repetition instead of like tens, like 3 sets of 10. I like to do a couple sets of like 25 or 30. Uh, just to get that volume in, because you're going to want your wrists to be moving, and it's so low intensity that it should still feel good without a lot of pain. So that is essentially the like basic exercises you can use for like a wrist sprain or coming back from a fracture. You just get your cast off or something, or you just get out of a wrist brace. I really like those exercises. They'll get you back going good because they prime your extension and flexion, and especially if you haven't been to the gym in a while because of that, or you want to work your way up to go into a gym, these are good for that mobilization and stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of other things you can do, but these are great basics to incorporate and work your way up to, you know, really getting motivated for whatever your goals are. Well, that was everything I had in store for you. And I appreciate you watching. And have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Have a day. Hopefully, that day is filled with the Spirit, the Holy Ghost.